Hello everybody, I hope you're having a great time. Today I have for you the most powerful, most fun, most swaggable, and the most flexible strategy in the game. Before we start, I want to quickly point out that this strat will still be one of the most powerful strats after the event ends. You can swap Santa surprise spells for lightning, and you can swap event troops for literally anything else, with tanky ground troops being best. I've swapped the event troops for Pekkas, Yetis, Giants, Valks, Hogs, 200 Barch, and even no army, and you can still swag spells. I'll soon be uploading those hits and comps, so make sure to like and subscribe. Alright, here we go. This strategy is all about maximizing hero value, and we're going to maximize hero value by using the absolute best possible pairings of hero equipments and spells in the game. For AQ, we're going to combine Giant Arrow with Zaps to set up a nice AQ charge. We're going to support our AQ charge with Warden, Rage Vial, and Eternal Tome. We're going to funnel in King to meet up with them and use his EQ boots to push into the core. And lastly, we're going to use the Royal Champion on the edge with her electric boots and rocket spear to wrap around and support them. Alright, so this is the perfect style base for this comp. Symmetrical diamond base, easy giant arrow from a corner. We have the multi-archer tower, we have the multi-inferno tower, and the monolith all in a row. Easy giant arrow from 6 to take all 3 of them out. So I'm going to bring 3 Santa surprise spells and 3 EQs, 1 apiece. Drop a hog to test for the flame flinger at 12, a cookie at 9 and 3. I'm going to take out those mortars so we can direct pad those archer towers, taking out the mortars for the flame flinger so it can get more value. Archer towers 9 and 3 go down. Now we don't have to worry about our king wrapping around. Gonna drop our Santa surprise spells first on the multi-inferno, multi-archer, and monolith, followed by EQ spells so that the builder huts don't repair. Drop our AQ down at 6, pop ability, and all 3 of those pesky defenses are gone now. Now we don't have to worry about dealing with the monolith as we're taking out enemy heroes. Drop down some headhunters, some loons to test for traps. We probably wouldn't have needed to use 3 Santa surprise. We could have gotten away with using 1 or 2, but it looks so much cooler. The more Santa surprise, you can use 4, you can use 5, depending on the base layout. It's a lot of fun. It's easily the most fun comp in the game right now. Alright, so we see that the queen's going left, so we drop king to meet up with her. Wall break to open up. Pushing into the core at the town hall. I usually like to use the Warden Eternal Tome around the town hall because there's a lot of traps for the healers, and we want to protect the healers as much as possible. Alright, so we see the red air bombs popping, so it's time to use the Warden Eternal Tome. We're able to catch our headhunters in the Eternal Tome so they can go after the RC. And yeah, the space is completely destroyed. We probably wouldn't have needed to use the RC because we had plenty of time and 4 Ram Riders left. We could have used the Ram Riders on the Inferno Tower and swagged RC, but I guess we're using RC just to speed up the attack a little bit. And yeah, you can see 3 Ram Riders left over, 4 invis spells, base is completely gone. And we didn't even need to use the 3 Santa surprise spells. We probably could have got away with using 2 or 1 and swagged even more spells. And it's always nice to get rid of your spells, your extra spells, so your next army isn't messed up when you hit attack. Notice how the lightning range, we're able to destroy both the multi-inferno and the monolith. And now we're going to drop the Santa surprise spell in the exact same spot. And they're both left standing. Alright, so here is a test base, and I'll include this in a link below. So I'm just going to quickly show you how many EQs paired with the Santa surprise spells it takes to destroy some of these primary defenses, like an Inferno Tower, Ricochet Cannon, Multi-Archer Tower, Monolith, Scatter Shot. Alright, so we're going to let our AQ die so she doesn't interfere. And she goes down. Alright, so we're going to start with the monolith. We're going to drop 1 Santa surprise for the multi-archer tower, 1 for the expos, and fire spitter. And as you can see, it just takes one Santa Surprise with one EQ for the Monolith, Multi-Archer Tower, one EQ, one Santa Surprise for the Expos, Fire Spitter. Now we're going to test the Inferno Tower, Ricochet Cannon, and Scatter Shot. Now we're going to see how many EQs. With one we get down the Inferno Tower and Multi-Archer Tower. And with two EQs we can take out a Scatter Shot and Ricochet Cannon. Here's a quick summary, quick graphic. The important distinction is that a Ricochet Cannon and Scatter Shot will take one Santa Surprise and two EQs, where everything else will take one Santa Surprise and one EQ. Here's the same graphic for Tunnel 16, and you'll notice we have an Eagle Artillery, which takes two Santa Surprise and one EQ, and now the Monolith also takes two EQs, when at Tunnel 17 it only took one and one Santa Surprise. Here's a quick little trick when it comes to spell towers. They only take two EQs. So if you can overlap two EQs over a spell tower that are in line with your primary targets, you can get it for free. Alright, so here's the Legend League comp. In this comp, you'll notice I'm down to two Santa Surprise and two EQs. It's kind of hard to depend on bases having three nice targets all lined up in Legend League. So I just took out that Wizard Tower. I'm going to set up a nice Flame Flinger here at 8 o'clock. Letting the Flame Flinger do some work so I can force Queen the other direction. Drop in a Rocket Loon to test for air traps. I'm going to deploy my Queen at 9 o'clock. I'm going after this single Inferno and the Monolith with the Santa Surprise. And I can use just one EQ to take out both of them. Now I have one left over. Sometimes you can use them on the Town Hall, help soften it up. Drop in Warden to help support. Looks like AQ is going to go the wrong way. She gets aggroed by the King, so she's going to go the right way. Start a funnel at 12 with a cookie. I'm going to have King meet up with AQ. Push into that Town Hall again. And we have the Inferno Artillery doing some damage. But luckily AQ targets on. Frosty freezes it up, stops a few shots. Test Rocket Loon to soak up some traps for the healers. Warden ability to protect the healers. And the Rocket Loon so they can do more testing. See, we drop in RC behind the BK just to benefit from some of the BK's tanking. And now we're just sprinkling in troops to help support the RC. AQ is getting targeted by the single, so we drop an invis for her. We're just letting the RC wrap around up top as we distract with event troops. We have the Ricochet Cannon at the bottom, so we're going to stun with a Ram Rider. And we have 6 spells left over in RC ability. Yeah, this strat is the most powerful strat in the game. It is the best pairing of hero equipments, the best synergy, and by far the best way to Spirit Walk. Why send your RC front end with invisibility spells to take on the entire base by herself when you can multitask with your RC and AQ and Warden and BK and troops so that they can take on the base together, and then you just swag all the spells at the end. Alright, so this base, much more difficult giant arrow, but completely doable. We have a Monolith and a Multi-Archer Tower together. We're going to try to take them out, and to make sure our Flame Flinger gets a nice juicy chunk of the base, we're also going to take out that Expo at 3 o'clock. We got some archers down at 6 to create our funnel. Make sure our BK meets up with our AQ and Warden to push into the base. Drop our Santa Surprise down. Time for our EQs to distract those builder huts. And zoom in a little bit, pop our giant arrow, and we get all 3 of them. Now we're going to drop our extra healers down, followed by Warden. Keep our AQ full health. Some cookies to help funnel. You could do this with any troop. Now we have the BK meet up. We're going to take out this Minion Prince early. He's a royal pain. It's nice to get him down quick early in the raid so the RC doesn't have to deal with him. Ram Rider to break open that wall. Some Rocket Loons to test. The most difficult thing about this base, something to watch out for, are the raged spell towers. They can quickly take out your AQ and your Warden, but luckily you have the Eternal Tome in case you come into a pinch. Alright, so now we drop down the RC at 6. We have some cookies along the outside to help distract for. AQ still doing work. Dropping our invisibility spells where needed. RC is meeting up with AQ and Warden, so we're going to time Warden Eternal Tome for all 3. Now they're all invincible. Taking on what's left of this base. Pop our RC ability. Get that Town Hall down quick so it doesn't interfere with healers. Drop the Skeleton spell to distract the BK. Back end Rocket Loons. And we have 6 spells that we're not going to need again. Yeah, synergizing heroes together is by far superior to front-end Spirit Walks. Get rid of those spells so we don't ruin our next hit. Here we have another perfect diamond base. We're going to go after the single Inferno Tower, and we're going to go after the Monolith. Dropping down some Rocket Loons and some regular loons, we're going to create funnels so that it's easier to get our King to meet up with our AQ and Warden later in the raid. It's much easier to use 1 minion a piece to take care of the funnel early instead of dropping 20, 30 housing space in a panic to do it later in the raid. So we drop some cookies down. We're trying to take this Warden so we can get a Flame Flinger to work. But this base is well trapped with skeleton spells. So we're going to use a skeleton spell of our own to distract that Warden. Drop down 1 cookie to take him out, and then follow up with the Flame Flinger. So now that the Flame Flinger is taken care of, we can go ahead and get started with the rest of the raid. Drop down some Test Loons to protect our healers. Drop down our Santa Surprise spells. EQs to distract the Builder Huts. And Giant Arrow. Take out both of them. Alright, now we just drop the Warden down. 1 Headhunter. Might not even need the Headhunter on the BK to begin with. A cookie on each side just to help funnel that BK in. Drop down a Ram Rider to stun that Ricochet Cannon. They can be a pain. And now we have the BK, AQ, Warden all meeting up together. Looks like BK is gonna... Oh, AQ aggro's BK to meet up with everything. BK is close to the Town Hall, so we're gonna pop his ability. Use his EQ boots to weaken the Town Hall, take it down. Drop a Ram Rider to stun Cookie to take out that Ricochet up top. And now we're into the core of the base. Our healers are safe. Drop a Headhunter for that enemy RC. And now we're supporting our interior heroes on the outside with the RC again. Dropping a cookie just to distract for the RC. And we'll just sprinkle troops to help support the RC as she wraps around the base. And you can pop the Flame Flinger early to distract. We have that E-Titan in. She will distract the enemy expos for a long time. So yeah, you can see this base. How many? 6 spells? Yeah, we have 6 spells left on this base again. And this happens to be a friend's clanmate of mine, so always nice to find them in Legend League. Drop down 5 spells to say hello. And on to the next base. Here's a more difficult base again. Nothing really jumps out for Giant Arrow zap value except the interior Rage Towers. Looks like I'm going to try to take out the mortars quick to drop a Flame Flinger. And that's the nice thing about having 8 Rocket Loons. You can do a lot with them. Drop down 3 just to get that mortar out of the road. And keep our Flame Flinger alive. That's gone. Now we're just using some archers to clear up behind the Flame Flinger while that does work. And yeah, this is going to be a Giant Arrow after those Rage Towers, those center Rage Towers. So we don't have to deal with Rage defenses as we push into the core. Create a little bit of a funnel in case our AQ pushes down towards 6, but we want her to go towards 3. Drop down the Santa Surprise, followed by EQ, Giant Arrow, and I miss. I only get one multi-archer tower with 6 spell space. So let's see how this goes. Dealing with enemy AQ, Ricochet Cannon, and Expo all at the same time. AQ goes down. AQ at least is going where we want her to go at 3. Dropping a cookie to help funnel. Try to send our king to meet up with her and push into the core. King goes where he's supposed to. Test loon. Some cookies to help in the core. And now we have all those rage defenses to deal with. We drop in some headhunters to take out the minion prince and enemy BK. Eternal Tome, the headhunters, and the test loon protect our healers. Skeleton spell down at 6 to help with the RC. With some tank troops. And yeah, you'll see how the RC and the heroes, the AQ and BK, they just take turns distracting defenses for each other. Drop in some Ram Riders to help further distract. Managed to stun that mono. RC's taking care of the Town Hall. Drop in some more Ram Riders from really far away. We probably could have used them a little closer. And this base is gone. We only got one multi-archer tower in the beginning of the raid, and we're still going to swag 5 spells. That's just how powerful using the RC in parallel with your other heroes is. We get rid of our extra spells so we don't fail our next raid. And on to the last base. A nice diamond base. We have a monolith and an inferno tower right in line. Fire spitter next to the inferno tower. We're going to take out the inferno tower, spitter, and the monolith with our Santa Surprise, EQs, and Giant Arrow. I'm going to drop 2 rocket loons on that archer tower to start a funnel early so we don't have to panic funnel later in the raid. Testing for Teslas, found one. And drop a Ram Rider in just to test for more. We're all clear, so Flame Flinger time. Just one more test loon. Now we're ready. We're going to try to time that Warden at the bottom next to the Flame Flinger so we don't have to worry about the Warden taking out our Flame Flinger. Santa Surprise, followed by EQs. Giant Arrow. And we managed to clip the Warden. Now the Flame Flinger Fire Spirits will take care of Warden, enemy Warden, and we won't have to worry about that later in the raid. Take care of enemy BK. We're not using any headhunters because we want to save the headhunters for other heroes later in the raid. Waiting to see which direction the AQ and Warden go. They're going to the left. So we're going to use a wall breaker to open her up. Drop the king to funnel him in to meet up so they can all push towards the town hall together. And this raid is looking very, very nice. Rocket loon to test for air traps. We put 2 cookies down a piece on the, if you caught that, if you use 2 cookies, one will distract the enemy hero and the other one will come up and kill the enemy hero. So you can get both enemy heroes for 20 troop space. It's pretty nice. Use the BK to open up those walls so that AQ can push in. BK is going towards Town Hall. Flame Flinger pops. We're going to drop our RC up by 2 o'clock. We have some distracting troops to tank for those defenses. 5 rocket loons left. Down to 3. We have a cookie, 2 Ram Riders, 7 spell space, and this base is absolutely wrecked. This is 100% one of the most fun and strongest comps in the game, and if you master the hero synergies, you'll be able to unlock using any troop that you want in place of the event troops. So have fun practicing the strat, have fun with the parallel hero walks, and remember to clear out your unused spells. Thanks for watching.